Good evening. I hope you all had a great day. If you'll notice, I changed the background a little bit just to try something else, get something else going on. So let's have a quick look at price action and how price developed today. So yesterday we talked about this imbalance area where would be tapping into. We can see that yesterday price just tapped it, and then today we had a deeper push into it, clearing the liquidity below the previous daily low, and then we had a push towards the upside, tapping into previous daily high as well. So one thing that I just want to mention is that, as you'll see, there's no really imbalance on the daily towards the upside. There's nothing there. So I think that if we start to push up, create bullish candles, we will go for all of these previous daily highs and ultimately for that high. So going forward, if we were to continue higher, that would be the objective. So let's have a look at the 15 minutes. So in essence, this is what happened today. All of this, everything right off the line. So we had Asian session create a high over here, and we created a low as well. So there was our Asian session, and we see the price traded below it and then traded towards the upside. Now let's have a look at a little bit of the details. As you'll recall, I mentioned the liquidity above these equal highs. So they were an objective. So initially I thought the price was potentially going to just trade in deeper, but then we noted that we had yesterday's previous daily low over here, and we can see that in London session price traded below the previous daily low, tapped into the sell side liquidity, and then gave a reaction towards the upside. So one thing you can remember is that as soon as price taps into a previous high, previous low, and gives a bullish reaction or bearish reaction, then potentially you could look for a trade idea. So I'm just going to remove this. We know that it is the daily imbalance. We tapped into it, reacted bullish off of it, and traded higher. So we can remove that. So I'm going to look at the two trades that I took today. So the first one was after London traded into the sell side liquidity below the previous daily low. So we traded down into it around Frankfurt Open. There's London Open. And then London Open, we had a push up towards the upsides. So let's have a quick look at that. So just important to note, we failed to make a lower low, and then we ultimately broke structure towards the upside, giving us that bullish market structure where we had a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We started seeing that form. So initially I was looking to see if price can come down to this 5-minute block down here, but it failed to go lower. Instead it reacted off of this candle, which doesn't matter. It is what it is. So there was nothing over there. But if we then look just a little bit closer on the 1 minute, we failed to reach the area that I was intended to look at, but then we did manage to move higher after this push down, bullish push towards the upside, and then a pullback. And then we started reacting off of this imbalance. So my thought was, okay, potentially if price is reacting off of this imbalance and we're rebalancing in this price leg, so you have to understand this. If this is the low and the high, and price is rebalancing in the discount in this area of imbalance, if we then get some bullish structure breaks towards the upside, we can then take a market execution to go along. There we had a small little break, and then we had price pulling back. That was enough for me in terms of an entry. I knew that my stop loss just needed to be below the imbalance for if price just wants to come back, tap into it, and then I'm targeting the buy side liquidity. So initially I was looking at these relative equal highs, more or less that area. So that then was the trade idea for the London session. So just to recap, based off of price sweeping the sell side liquidity below previous daily low, and then just looking to see that continuation pattern, just looking at price creating that structure for us to go higher. So ultimately, those equal highs were the objective. So if we were to hold this trade, that would have been the trade of the day. So then price pushed higher, pulled back. So we reacted off of this little candle, this wick low, filled all of this imbalance in here, had a push towards the downside, and then we had a push up high. Now, these equal highs were also the previous daily highs. So let's just mark that as the previous daily high. And after price reacted off of it, you can potentially look for a short-term sell. Now, short-term sell, because if we work from the bias that price has traded into the daily imbalance, we have absorbed liquidity or whatever, we found enough power to move up higher. Price will now be seeking buy-side liquidity or in a premium market. So if as soon as price starts to trade towards the upside, we have evidence that price is potentially going higher. So if we take a trade from here, it's not to go all the way towards the downside because price has finished the business in here. There's no unfinished business. It's finished. So the only logical area for price to then trade to is into the range that was created going higher. So there we have a range, a low and a high. We trade into it, a pullback, and then continuation. Because if you look at price action, what started down here as a bullish uptrend, high, high, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. It just expanded, got bigger, and price is still in an uptrend on the 15-minute time frame going higher. So that's just something to note. But there is a opportunity in here that it's a trade that I posted about today, where we reached for these equal highs, also the buy side liquidity, and then in this area there was a quick selling opportunity. So it's very simple, not too complicated. So basically we have previous daily high. We also created this high. There will be traders thinking to sell over here. All the smart money traders or a lot of people just learning will be thinking this is a selling opportunity. They will aim for the 100 risk reward. Price will come up, potentially take them out of break even or stop loss, and then just make that last push towards the upside, creating the sweep of the previous daily high. Then we had a breakdown, but we didn't yet break any structure. Then we had a push up, and this push down, push up, failed to move above the previous high. So we have a shift in the structure. So we had a little shift, same, also pretty much the same pattern that we had this morning below the previous daily low. Same thing just happening above the previous daily high. Then finally we had a structure break towards the downside, and then price returning. Was it 2 minutes that I used towards this 2-minute block? Entry was something like this, stop loss above, and then I think it was just 3 point something or relatively small quick trade towards the downside because I knew it's a counter trend trade. I did not want to hold it till till the lows, so I only wanted to target 3R, just above 3R. And then we had a reaction. So then let's have a look at the 50-minute. The price then pulled down. If we take this tool, we can see the price traded down into the discounted area and then failed to give a lower time frame trade opportunity, but it did in fact just tap the 5-minute block, filled the imbalance, and then started trading towards the upside, ultimately reaching a high. And I do think making a high, and I do think we just about traded into the 1-hour imbalance over there. That's something that you'll notice if you pay a lot of attention to GU, that it really reacts well off of imbalance areas. So that was today. It was a really relatively good day. Price action was relatively clean and clear in terms of direction and liquidity objectives. And I think the main objectives were met. We had the sell side liquidity below the previous daily low, and then the buy side liquidity above the previous daily high. And that's how I read the market. That's how we executed. And that was it. Guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.